All right, all right. We should be live on YouTube as well. Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to EMP.Money. This is our daily live AMA and Detonator rollover event. We're happy to have all of you here, and we're going to jump right into it. So, markets are looking like they, again, may have found a floor. We're not out of the woods yet. Things are still really uncertain, but at least, again, we're seeing somewhat of a local low. And even if we fall a little bit more from here, I think the upside potential is still a lot better. The worst is behind us, so to speak. So yeah, that's encouraging. And again, expect the unexpected in crypto. Holy hell, what a week it's been. So, with that being said, again, EMP is still holding strong. So we're getting closer and closer to peg by the minute. Again, we've been stair stepping our way up. We should be recovering peg shortly if all things go well. And even if they don't, we have Detonator and the farms to continue to earn for us. So let me pull up the screen and we'll jump right into Detonator. All right, there she is. Detonator, our pride and joy, been killing it, and really keeping our ecosystem so healthy. So, regardless of what the markets are doing, Detonator is our daily ROI contract. You deposit LP tokens into it, and you get 365% back on those LP tokens. So, what is an LP token? That's half EMP and half Ethereum. So, you have exposure to ETH, and now that ETH is on the floor, again, just broke back over 2,000. This is a great time to accumulate, and why, Detonator has been such a great option. You can accumulate cheap LP, deposit it into the contract, and then you're actually able to ROI faster from a dollar perspective, because once ETH gets back to, 3, 4,000 bucks, or who knows, 10,000 by the end of the year, and then you're, 3, 4, 5 times, 5xing your daily rewards. So that's really an important concept to understand, and the contract is continuing to grow and look very healthy. So we have 47,628 LP. Again, almost the all-time high without a lot of volume. We only have about an 89 LP snipe right now for the largest daily. We could see this go over 48,000 within the last few moments here. So we have about 7 minutes until the rollover. Remember that you get credit for every deposit and every compound that you do. You get a ticket with a maximum of 50 tickets for depositing and 50 tickets for compounding. And those tickets give you a chance to win today's prize, which is $31,258. Really remarkable that we're giving away that every day times two. So the largest depositor as well as a random lottery winner get that prize, and it helps incentivize, our ecosystem to continue to grow. And we've been seeing that the pool balance and Detonator has been growing every day, even though there's been a lot of claiming. The ecosystem is very, very healthy. So, my co-host Bull Gates, are you there, brother?
Of course. I'm always listening, always watching.
Yes, brother. You held it down for me yesterday. You and Jesse, and shout out to Jesse. I'm sure he'll be on later, but he's our newest member of the EMP Army. So, congrats to him.
Which, yeah, absolutely shows you what, taking that opportunity to involve yourself in the community can reward you with. Those aren't titles that grant you any money, but they are things that grant you a little bit better perks. You get to talk to the guys on the team. You get a little bit extra alpha knowledge in advance. Not too much, maybe an hour or two. But it just shows like when people are committed to advancing themselves and helping other people in the community, where you can be. And I'm sure Jesse can speak to that. If I don't know if he thought he'd be in the army by now or what, but certainly the best place to start is at the beginning.
Absolutely. And yeah, we're always watching. Again, in order to be an Army General, you have to be nominated. And even at that, you have to be confirmed by at least three other people. So it's an honor. And again, those that go above and beyond, my mantra is we support those that support us. So again, all the actions out there do not go unnoticed. If you're being a very important part of our community, and going above and beyond, then you'll be rewarded. So we'll also have our EMP VIP group as well. That will we open up submissions to be inducted into the VIP group about once a month. So we're coming up on another round of inductees, and that's just as simple as providing your wallet address. Making sure you're a good actor. Again, you're more than welcome to take profits. It's not about, buying and holding. It's more about just confirming that you're taking profits in a responsible manner and that you're involved in all parts of the ecosystem. You have some in Detonator, you have some in the farms, and you're just participating. So, and that you've been around a while again too. I mean, we like to see emperors that have been around for at least a month and have a long-term vision and want to stick with us. So we will be opening that up in the future. And again, I mean, there's plenty of rewards and giveaways for those that support us. We in turn support you. So, all right, awesome. One thing too I want to mention that was brought up yesterday, as far as the detonator is, it really is probably important that if you have a really tiny bag, that you do start in the auto vault or in the farm, because there would be a situation where you would deposit into detonator, and it would be such a little amount that you're actually not getting rewards, for that one ticket a day on compounding. Now, you can compound your way out of that, which would be an amazing success story, to where you actually lose a little bit on gas in the beginning, but eventually, you actually make a profit just from compounding. So, Bull, you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, and compounding isn't the only way to accelerate your growth in the detonator. I think Kirk can speak from experience. He's older guy, like me, that just ventured out, created a YouTube, and I think he's getting some referrals that way. So, exploring that avenue and there were 3% referral bonus too to, reach out and tell people about EMP can help you increase your size within the detonator. But compounding over time is going to build up, and you do want to try to get those tickets, especially here in the beginning. What else? What else do you want me to talk about here, AJ? I
Yeah,
was I was right in the middle of making a coffee, but
yeah, brother. No, I mean that was it. That was really what I wanted. And the fact that you want to try to always have enough LP to get at least one ticket from compounding.
okay,
So yeah, what
sure,
what
sure.
is that math? Can you enlighten us? Yeah.
Yeah, that should be I think around $1,500 or so in the detonator. But ideally what you want to do, and I'll just try to rip it off really quickly here. You want to put in increments of 0.15 LP or 0.15 LP into the detonator, because that's going to maximize your impact to get that ticket and the effectiveness of it. If you can deposit 7.5 in a day, you'll get 50 tickets. And if you do that a few days in a row, that's going to give you 50 tickets, 50 tickets on day one, 50 tickets on day two, and 50 tickets on day three. And then day three, you're going to have the ability to compound one ticket. And it's really, really important to try to get to that threshold so that you can be compounding at least one ticket, because part of the detonator is about winning that lottery and compounding. But I'll maybe talk more about it after.
All right, yeah, I know it
the
was a
1 minute.
loaded question right here at the end, but yeah, again, we can go in more into that after the rollover. But get ready, everyone. Make sure you're compounding. We've seen the pool balance grow about 500 LP in the last 10 minutes here, so looking really good. And we saw a snipe come in, so 123 is now the current largest depositor. We'll see if that holds up. Yesterday we had about a 4 snipe the day before that as well. So the last minute volume has been epic. So let's see if that holds out. And again, make sure you're compounding or depositing for those last minute tickets. And here we go. 30 seconds. Good luck, everyone. If you win, feel free to jump on and join us. We'd love to celebrate with you. 20 seconds. Here we go. Good luck. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Is 123 going to hold up? I think it might have. Let me refresh. We'll have to look on chain.
Still hasn't updated.
Yep, lots of transactions happening at the last minute.
Yeah, it did hold up.
All right, looks like 123. We'll take it. I don't know. There may have been. Double check that, Bull. We have a lot of last minute volume. I think we may have had one more snipe, but I can't look right now. Again, those of you that
125. 125
all
did
right,
take it.
125. So that was the last minute. I think it was 123 and then a 125. So yeah, again, we had some serious volume, well over 48,000 LP. Now, again, that's the beauty of the last minute sniping and the volume entering the contract. So amazing. And we are releasing a video on how to check that on chain for those of you that are interested. And again, I'm going to give some alpha here. I know a lot of people have been using the zap in function to kind of hide um, to hide their LP. So if you're worried about getting out sniped, a great strategy is to actually zap in at the last minute to again try to win the largest. So make your largest your best. I know 2 days ago we had about a 500 LP go in, which is more than the prize. But still, I mean that large amount pretty much gives you the best opportunity possible in winning, and you're still able to enter the contract at basically half price. So the game theory on Detonator is just absolutely incredible, and we've seen it continue to perform and be something truly special. So again, a new all-time high, 48,238 LP. That's $3.1 million with ETH still very low. So once we recover and the market goes bullish again, we're going to see that value skyrocket. So, all right, let me go ahead and pull up my desktop and we'll jump right into questions. Bull, you want to give your spiel on how we're going to do the queue?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. So just please raise your hand, and then I'm going to go ahead and DM you when you're up to speak and who you're going to speak after. So, and then always just try to be as brief as possible. And I say that in the kindest way. Just we're trying to be aware that like nobody wants to be on a 4-hour AMA. I don't think so. I don't want to speak for anybody, but these are getting longer and longer. So let's just try to be as brief as possible. And I know I have a tendency to ramble, so I'll shut up.
No worries, Bull. All right, awesome. So let me go into some alpha and some news, and then we'll go into questions. But we have a lot of people on the call today, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, I touched on a little bit. Markets look like they might be finding a floor. Again, even if we trade sideways for a while from here, that could be a good thing. Let the dust settle, so to speak. and now would be an awesome time to, again, DCA in, or those of you, I know a lot of you may have been on the sidelines or just hearing about EMP now. This would be a good opportunity to get involved. Not financial advice, but one of the major things I like seeing is the Autovault. So you can see over the last like 3 days that we have slowly been stair-stepping our way back to PEG. So it's been like 0.96, 0.97. Now we're about 0.98 or over. I haven't looked at it, but um, and what that is even with low volume, meaning there's not a lot of buying and selling of EMP right now because the market's been destroyed. Um, and people just kind of waiting it out to see what happens. Is even with very little volume, those auto compounders are always putting buy pressure on EMP, and that's why they're so important. So again, we have a partnership with all the major auto compounders, Yield Wolf, Beefy, and Auto Farm, but we also have a new partnership with Magic Finance, and they are awesome because their Auto Vault is actually has a burn mechanic. So not only are they buying back EMP, and adding it to your LP positions, like all the auto vaults, but they're also burning a portion of EMP, and that comes from their cut. So again, Beefy, it's the same fee structure as Beefy, but Beefy keeps all the fees. Magic splits the fees, so they get half and they use the other half to buy back EMP and burn it. So that's really bullish. The TVL over there is about 100,000 now. I'd love to see about 1 million in that auto vault, and we'll get there eventually. But again, auto vaults are really important. If you're new here, you're not really sure what an auto vault is, feel free to reach out or go through our academy. Um, I can go into it later if you have a specific question on auto vaults, but we've covered it multiple times. And any of the Army generals would be happy to explain it to you. But I would really recommend putting at least some percentage of your LPs into an auto vault. So that
And
was
and
yeah, go
and
ahead, Will.
AJ, one thing to quickly say on Magic, their LP is on Spirit Swap, which did have like a hack yesterday. So just a heads up to everybody. I don't know the current status of that. Like the exploit
Yeah.
on Spirit
So
Swap.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
I spoke to them today, and again, we need to be very, very clear that the auto vaults are completely separate to Magic Finance. So Magic Finance is another Tomb Fork, and they are on Phantom, but the auto vaults are their revenue generating arm of the business, so to speak. So it's completely separate. It's been audited. The contracts are renounced. The code has been looked at over and over by um, many different people. So really, there's not a lot of exploit opportunity in their vaults. I mean, anything can happen. But yeah, that exploit was in regards to Spirit Swap and their own LP. Um, it was a front end hack. The
Okay,
same
thanks.
thing, yeah, the same thing that we've seen. I don't know. Again, a lot of you may be familiar. Even EtherScan was hacked on the front end, meaning it was a similar looking website with a different contract address. So if you interact with it, it sends the funds to a scammer rather than the actual swap or whatever website you're participating on. So, and we're that's usually done because of cheap, um, cloud, yeah, host providers. But we're on AWS. I mean, we have killer infrastructure in place that would mitigate any of that opportunity. And we'll be very due diligent when we launch our new UI that there's no exploit attempt when we finally launch our new site. So yeah, great point. We're doing our due diligence, but the Vault and Magic Finance are safe. They've never had a problem. That's a separate entity. even though it's under their umbrella. And if you have any questions, again, never put your money where in something that you're not 100% familiar with. So definitely go join their Discord, ask some questions, and get comfortable before you get involved. So yeah. All right. What else, Bull? Let me look at my notes here. Hang on one second.
Maybe the new UI or some pop-ups.
Yeah, so we've had some requests that we put a pop-up window on the detonator and the farm page that basically reiterate, it's not a good idea to sell EMP. I know this was a big discussion yesterday in the AMA. Even though I'm not around, I listened to all the AMAs just to make sure, and we twofold. So we really don't want to bridge the line of offering financial advice or giving people we don't want to encourage lazy investors. We want them to learn the ecosystem and not have a lot of hand holding, so to speak. But I do think there is opportunity for education. And in the new UI, there's going to be a lot more information on the site. Um, through tooltips and not having to go through the academy itself. But again, we don't want to do too many upgrades to the current UI while we're building the next UI because then there's a lot of merging issues that happen. Jake touched on this a little bit yesterday, and he may be here later to elaborate. But I hope that makes sense. And yeah, Bull, was there any other suggestions from yesterday that you wanted me to address?
Well, I was noticed that you had just pinned a message today on eShares, but I think you covered like the UI, and Jake talked extensively about the new UI and not necessarily implementing changes, and because it kind of ruins his workflow with the team he's working on to create the UI. So he said it just might be better to wait for some of the things and see exactly what gets put into place. And so because the new UI has got a lot of stuff, and it might fix a lot of the things that people are suggesting right now. So
Absolutely. And again, I mean, we don't take it as a, falling on deaf ears. We love your suggestions. We want the constructive feedback. And I think there is a lot of room for improvement, but the new UI is going to solve a lot of that. And we're actually ahead of schedule. So I know I wanted to be able to release it mid-May. I said, hopefully by the end of the month. And things are looking really good. So I don't want to again give a deadline or a time, but those time frames, are within reason. So it could be any day now. So again, bear with us on that. They're killing it behind the scenes, and that's probably why Jake isn't here, because he's continuing to link the back end. So all right, awesome. And then yeah, you touched on shares. So we've been getting a lot of questions about e-share emissions and the fact that they end, at the end of the year or January 2023. But we have a lot of options with that. So I've gone over it again and again in many AMAs. I think the post that I made, the pinned message on Telegram and Discord, sums it up the best. But long story short is we have built in a flexible model, meaning our e-shares are about 1/3 of what other tomb forks are. So even if we wanted to extend emissions another year on shares, they would still be more valuable from a purely market cap perspective because there's 2/3 than most other maximum supplies. That inherent value would not dilute the e-shares enough that it would matter. So we do have that option. I'm not saying that we're going to do that quite yet. We should be able to have a decision made 100% set in stone within the next month or two. But you have plenty of heads up on what we're going to do, and then we're able to reward LP providers and EMP and eShare holders in other ways. So the ultimate goal is to make it to where you actually make more money holding EMP and eShare than you do from selling it. So that's where lending comes into play, hypothecation from our Treasury, where we're able to produce a yield, and then that yield could be distributed amongst holders. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can do and really bring us to the next level. And really, I mean, EMP, I've said this again, um, EMP is a great way to earn with exposure to Ethereum, but at its core, EMP is a passive income play. So if you're looking to get passive income and having your crypto work for you, that's really the ultimate goal of EMP, and that's what we'll start moving towards again, even harder in the future. I mean, we already have with nodes and detonator and the farms, but there'll be even more opportunity to earn within our ecosystem. So, all right, well, that was really all I had as far as updates. Um, we are working on our sister project, going to launch on the Pulse chain. Again, we'll release more info on that when we're ready, but we're getting really close. So hopefully next week I'll be able to drop even more alpha for you. And the word on the street is Pulse is going to launch by the end of the month. I'm not sure about that. My guess would be another month or two. But even if it does, we'll still be ready to build the community and then bridge over when we're ready. So, all right, that's the alpha. Bull, anything else you want to add before we take questions?
No, well, I guess, yeah. So obviously, after the Mother's Day massacre, there's a lot of fear in the streets here in crypto. But I would just, have everybody look back at the March 2020 COVID drop and look at the recovery after that. If you want some historical perspective of, what to potentially look for in the future. But the bright shining star here is that EMP. Look at how, as a community we've held really strong together. The peg has been amazing. Obviously, it has a lot to do with the community and all the parts that the guys on the team have given us here. And the reality is if the dollar value is down, that doesn't really matter in terms of what your portfolio is worth. Just look at, is your LP growing every day? And so keep a more conscious eye kind of on your LP instead of your dollar value. But you know, looking at it now, we can see that the LP is extremely cheap. So if you have the possibility to bring something in, not financial advice, you have the ability to get in a cheaper into the ecosystem and potentially get ready for a rocket ship when ETH takes off, and so you're going to have all that time in between. So if the market does go sideways, you're still earning that daily interest and building your LP. So yeah, that's about all I have right now.
Yeah, no doubt, Bull. And you brought up another really good point I want to mention. I had some people ask in Discord, what do we tell people that just saw, Luna and UST implode on itself as an algorithmic stablecoin? Well, there's a really key difference that I want to make perfectly clear is that just because we're an algorithmic project, it's a lot different. I mean, night and day different than being an algorithmic stablecoin. So I've never been a fan of algorithmic stables. The idea is amazing. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a stable asset that isn't reliant on a centralized force. But nobody has really been able to crack that code, so to speak. Literally, every algorithmic stablecoin has either died or, is not a large enough market cap that it even matters. But the point is that we're algorithmically pegged to an appreciating asset, and that asset is ETH. And that is a huge distinction. And again, I think it's a lot more attractive from an economic standpoint, because with a stablecoin, there is so much pressure to maintain that peg, and as soon as the peg is lost, there's a run on the bank. People get scared, and it's this cascade effect that we saw with UST, and again they had their assets were in Bitcoin, which again is an asset that tracks obviously the crypto market as the number one coin. So when things started decoupling, they were forced to sell the Bitcoin, and that just was again a waterfall effect, bringing down the entire crypto market as they sold about $1 billion of Bitcoin. So we don't have any of those mechanics at play with EMP. Eventually, our treasury will have multiple assets that are de-risking us. Like, in other words, we plan on holding assets that may not necessarily correlate with the crypto market, and as a hedge, so to speak, and so that we can have a safe haven with a large treasury to again support EMP, and ETH being half of our liquidity pair. That is really bullish because half of the token or half of the LP is in ETH itself. So again, it's not some made up token that relies on other mechanics. So I hope that helps. Again, I can go into it a lot deeper, but there's a big difference between an algorithmic project and an algorithmic stablecoin. So I hope that explains it. Bull, you want to elaborate on that at all?
I think that's really good, and with UST, I think you've brought up in the past about a layered approach and then problems that can result from that, and that layered approach can create that cascading effect that you're talking about. So I have 100% confidence in you and the rest of your team to make the right decisions for EMP because I've seen you do it from day one and into day two to now. Every day it's the same. It's consistent. It's you guys are constantly here. You're telling us what you're going to do, and I think that's a big difference too. Is that I kind of use this analogy for bigger projects. They're like an oil tanker, and they can't react when they need to because there's so much stuff tied to them, and so sometimes they just have to hit the rocks. Whereas like this is a smaller project and it's nimble, and the community is able to react, and because the expectations have been set here by you and your team because everything you've said you've done. So that's really aside from like the difference mechanically or economically, however you want to look at it. The difference is the community and the size and the ability to move around problems instead of having to ram them just head on.
Perfect. Yep, absolutely. And again, we've demonstrated that from the beginning. Again, if there was ever an issue or we saw a problem building, then we would adapt to that. I mean, nodes are a perfect example. I mean, we wanted to incentivize people to lock up their EMP rather than dumping it on the market, and nodes were born. And again, Detonator was something that we always had planned. But to have it on top of our ecosystem is even more powerful because Detonator could be, a standalone project, but the fact that it's on top of the economics we have and locks up a large part of our liquidity without it being in the farms or being able to be impaired, meaning it's locked liquidity, is super important in the grand scheme of things. So, all right, awesome. Well, then we're gonna open it up to questions, Bull. Ready when you are.
Okay, bro. There's a question from Jeffrey Yu, and I think the guys are addressing what happens when eShare ends, like right now in the channel for a question. But if they need to elaborate on that further, then we'll follow up with that, or excuse me, you can follow up with that after Jeffrey Yu.
All right, awesome. Yep, go ahead, Jeff.
So you've answered my question, so thank you very much.
Oh, all right, perfect, brother. No worries. All right, that was easy. More of those, Bull. Yeah.
Okay, one more of those. Okay, so Jacob is asking this question. It's in regards to eShare ending. He says, "I know, but I'm asking about the long term. Once eShares are done being emitted, will the boardroom still print EMP when we are above PEG?"
So yeah, there's again that would be something that we can either choose to do or not to do. Typically, even after the boardroom, um, I'm sorry, even after e-shares are no longer emitting, the boardroom is still around. And again, that's what gives the share token the inherent value, especially after emissions end, because in order to get more um, of the native asset through inflation, you have to do it. So uh, the short answer is yes, the boardroom will still print EMP if we're above PEG, even if share emissions end. But the long answer is we have the ability, to modify that. So um, again, depending on how healthy the Treasury is and what the actual end goal of EMP becomes, we have the ability to update that. So it would be again a contract migration, but that's a bridge that we cross when we get to it. But yeah, I mean, again, no matter what, EMP is still fractionalized ETH, regardless of whether there's a share token or the boardroom. And again, the share token will always have inherent value as the governance token. Those of you that again have gone through the academy, there's a whole video on our roadmap. eShares will again become a really important part of a launchpad that we have in the works. Where again, the first trial run of that is this new project on Pulse. And again, we're there's so much going on that again I'm not at a point that I can give you hard details, but know that everything in the ecosystem will continue to have value, even if we modify some things. So
Hey, Jay.
Cool, great
yeah,
answer.
yeah, Matthew, go ahead, brother.
Hey, I just thought I'd add to that in terms of the kind of the future potential, and obviously just let me know if I'm off the mark here. But from what I can see, the ability to extend e-shares for another 12 months, and I think that's a brilliant design in terms of you guys starting with a low amount. Um, from what I can understand is that ability to extend them for another 12 months buys the protocol even more time to create even more use case for EMP to then to offset the inflation that will be produced in the boardroom as it continues to print. So what I
Absolutely.
found with and kind of what I've seen with other seigniorage projects, they've over emitted e-shares in the 12 months, meaning that they've had too high allocation, meaning that they've only given themselves 12 months to build that suite of utility for their native token to try and absorb the inflation. Some seigniorage protocols are only emitting for 6 months, so they're halving that time frame even more to try and come up with use cases to be able to offset the inflation rate coming out of the native token being emitted. So the fact that we have the ability to extend another 12 months just buys us even more time to create even more use case. And I mean, it sounds like from the bits of information that you guys are talking about in terms of assets within and outside of crypto, it sounds like you guys are really building something there and have things in the works that are probably already going to be taking up some of that inflation. Plus, adding another 12 months gives us even more time to add more utility as the inflation grows.
For sure, Matthew. And
And
again, I appreciate you making it a little more clear. Again, you're always the analytical guy and can explain it a little bit better from a math perspective. But absolutely, I mean, and we've been fully transparent about everything. And I think that again, it was by design. I mean, having a low share emission was super important because it does give us this flexibility. And like you said, I think a lot of other protocols shoot themselves in the foot by emitting all this share token. Yeah, it's great short term. Everybody's getting rich, but once that utility goes away and there's no more really value in the share token, then it all comes crashing down. So we want to be able to again, do it over a longer period of time. Nothing is set in stone, but it's more than likely that we will probably, extend eShares another year. I think I've kind of alluded to that anyway. But I just hate saying one thing and then doing another. So, we will release an official announcement within the next 1 or 2 months. Um, we have until January 2023. I know, a week in crypto is an eternity. So another, 9 months is a long time. But I think it's even more bullish once we have a game plan, because then it'll be go time. I mean, we can plan on these things and know, that the economics are solid. And yeah, Matthew, I mean, to touch on a little bit what you said about building. So. Um, not only does it give us more time to build other use cases and burn mechanics, into our ecosystem, but it also gives us time to build our treasury even larger. So I know we talk about it a lot, especially with that single-sided ETH contract, was about utilizing that ETH and the EMP that we own to build our treasury to be massive. And so another year of treasury building could pay off in spades at the end of that, meaning now we have a massive amount of money uh, in the treasury that is now producing yield through hypothecation, which again is a fancy word for making money with the money that you have through low risk yield farming or other income producing opportunities, which again we've alluded to over the last few AMAs, um, of opportunities even outside of crypto to produce income into the treasury, and then in turn reward everybody that's either holding EMP or perpetual buybacks of EMP and eShare, or liquidity injections into Detonator. I mean, it keeps the whole ecosystem running. So again, I couldn't be more excited for what we have coming, and I wish I could tell all of you everything right away, but there's a lot of work to be done. So I just don't want to overcommit and underdeliver. So I want to undercommit and overdeliver. So all right, yeah, does that help, Bull? Anything else you want to add,
Yeah,
or Marshall?
absolutely, man. Yeah. And one thing obviously that that people over are maybe overlooking is that you have another 9 months to farm, and if eShares gets extended, you have another 12 months on top of that to farm. So those are all good things. It gives time for new money to enter the system, that might not be here, might not know about EMP, and it's just giving the project a longer, wider runway to do what these guys need to do to build the ecosystem to help us.
Absolutely. Yep. And I know I see a question on. Or go ahead, Matthew.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead, Matthew. Oh, maybe not. Yep.
I was
There
just
he is.
going to say,
Go
I was
ahead,
just
bro.
going to say there'll be a point as well because I mean, if you guys do extend the issues and it extends farming, there'll be a point where the market will form a support level. Currently, it'll form a support level once it's been tested a few times, and there'll be a support level there. With the fact that eShares now will be, will possibly be extended by another 12 months, and ETH hits a support level, can you imagine the money flowing in to a farm where you can buy ETH at a support level with a big upside, plus pair it with EMP and earn anywhere from 0.3 to 0.6% a day on that token which has a massive upside because it's now reached the support level. That turning point there could drive a ton of TVL through the EMP ecosystem.
Absolutely, Matthew. And this doesn't even, we haven't even touched on, the borrowing and lending or the collateralization of your farm LPs. I mean, again, there's so much, momentum behind the economy and what we're building. That it's just so bullish. I mean, again, I have a hard time not getting too excited and trying to be a lot more objective, especially on the AMAs. But we are building some incredible things, and we're set up for the future. And I know there was a question on YouTube that said, why would you modify extend eShare minting to begin with? Well, again, if you're asking that question, I would say, watch the Academy all over again. Really, it boils down to everything that we just talked about for the last 20 minutes. It gives everybody an extended amount of time to earn. Because remember, the liquidity incentives. So the farm at a larger overview of the economics. So the 30,000-foot overview. You're incentivized by providing liquidity to EMP ETH through the share token. So at its core, it's an incentive. So we have to have that incentive to keep people providing liquidity. And so if that is, cut off too soon, or there's not other mechanics in place, that again, like I said earlier, you actually make more money holding EMP or the LPs or eShare. Then when that eShare emission stops, then there could be a sell-off. So we don't want to do that too early. I think a lot of other projects, don't have the foresight of implementing these things. And so, again, we've just been really careful about the emission rate and the maximum supply to be able to have this sort of flexibility. So I hope that helps. Yeah, go ahead, Matthew.
Just add to that, AJ. The fact, and also that goes back to your point on extension of eShares, meaning that the Treasury also it's extending the opportunity for the Treasury to grow as well. And if you can imagine, maybe when it gets to, and this is a potential, I'm not saying that this is one way it could go, that let's say it's extended another 12 months, so we've got 9 months plus 12 months. The Treasury has had a lot more time to build up its funds, and potentially maybe that liquidity pool becomes a protocol-owned liquidity because the Treasury's had time to build up the liquidity to own it itself. So then kind of taking away some of the need for that pool to be incentivized because the Treasury actually owns the whole pool. And it's only been able to do that because of the extension of eShares for another 12 months. Now, if you can imagine protocol-owned liquidity on this ecosystem will be hugely powerful, because then we don't need to incentivize. Well, maybe it doesn't need to be incentivized by eShares, but the total liquidity there is owned completely by the Treasury. I'm not saying that is the future, but I can see where you guys are going. That could be created in the future with the building of the Treasury.
Yeah, no doubt, Maju. Again, bro, you're one of the smartest guys I know, and that is 100% kind of the thinking behind the scenes that we're trying to implement. And those of you that have been in the DeFi space or have a little bit more of a background in numbers and finance, how powerful that is. So again, other protocols have had a lot of success with protocol-owned liquidity, but in order to get to that, there's usually, a payback mechanic where, you have to pay your investors back for providing that liquidity. Well, with us, we're going to be able to have liquidity or protocol-owned liquidity from the Treasury itself. So there was nobody, VCs or other investors that contributed, and needed a return on that investment, which again puts a drain on the system long term. This is all happening organically behind the scenes, and another year of being able to compound and build that treasury even more before we move into phase two. I mean, my God. I mean, I hate to throw out numbers, but we could see a treasury with $100 million in it at some point. So when that happens, we're all gonna make it.
The
So
beneficiaries. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Well, yeah,
You're
exactly.
building the treasury means building, possibilities and building opportunity for everybody here.
100%. So, all right, awesome. That was a great discussion. Again, I know a lot of people have been asking about eShares and the long-term vision. So, uh, feel free to point them to this AMA. Again, it'll be living on YouTube indefinitely. So, all right, awesome, Bull. We have any more questions?
Yeah, sure. Yep. This is from Ali225. For the Pulse Chain project, which token should we buy before the project launch?
So this is an awesome question. So originally we were thinking of doing some sort of sacrifice, and we may still do that, but we have a really awesome mechanic. Again, I'm not gonna say what it is, but we've come up with a solution that will actually reward everybody directly holding EMP or having LPs in the most fair way possible, without having to do because the sacrifice is great, and again, we may still do this for even more of an added bonus. But if you can buy the token and then sacrifice it, and that not necessarily means that you're a good actor or you've been in the protocol a long time. It's great for a short-term pump, which again, right now would look really good. But we don't want to again do things that have short-term gratification. We want to put things in place that reward those that have the long-term mindset. So we're going to release a whole white paper on the economics of this new token, and I think we have a perfect solution on how we can reward literally everybody in the ecosystem based on their allegiance to the ecosystem. So again, that means if you have LP pairs, you're farming, you're in Detonator, you're participating in the entire ecosystem, you're the one that's going to be rewarded the most um, through this new project. So yeah, I know it's a little bit vague, but it's really exciting, and no other protocol has done this in regards to feeding the mothership, so to speak. So we're really excited for that.
Awesome. You ready for the next one, AJ?
Yep, go ahead, Bull. Yep.
Okay. Are there any plans of a stablecoin for EMP? Not saying it needs one, but I'm just curious. And that's from Goopy.
Yeah, so I hate to say never ever, but the short answer is no. Again, I think that what you're asking is, I think again, not to put words in your mouth, but um, what that underlying question is asking is how can I earn, without having the risk of a fluctuating token. So it's not really about us having our own stablecoin. It's about how can you earn a stablecoin or have another option to earn that's a lot more risk adverse. And then the answer to that question is yes, we do have some plans on, again, building other contracts on top of the platform that will reward you either in a stable token or have some sort of mechanism that doesn't rely on, the overall market volatility to still be able to earn. So, yeah, we're definitely looking into all that. Again, I'm not a huge fan, of collateralized stable coins or, again, what we saw with UST or even some other projects. I mean, we would need to be really careful with that. So I think that's what you're asking at the core of your question. And if not, if you're just asking, will there be an EMP stablecoin, then probably not. All right. Any other
Well,
questions, Bull? Yeah.
EMP is kind of a fractionalized stablecoin with a massive upside, is it not?
Well, yes and no. So I'm actually glad you brought this up, Bull. So I think that there is this inherent, and me and Lunas, one of the team members, were talking about it today. So um, there's been nothing but love for us and the community and the team, and but I don't want that to give everybody rose-colored glasses. Meaning, know that anything in crypto has some inherent risk. So. Um, we've done everything in our power to mitigate that risk. And again, now that we're, on the floor, so to speak, of the price of Ethereum and the overall markets, then there is a ton of upside potential. Um, and really, I mean, again, the reason that you get into a stablecoin is to avoid the market volatility. But if there's other ways that we can provide that same sort of benefit, but actually have upside potential, then that's even a better solution. And again, I think Detonator provides that. Um, you know, uh, if you're, especially if you're getting into Detonator now, because the dollar value has a lot higher upside potential. And yeah, to Bull's point, it's like a stable coin, that can go up in value. If you look at it that way. So yeah, but again, I mean, I just want to be clear, crypto is risky. Expect the unexpected. You never know what can happen. But we're doing everything in our power to build something totally different here that will be around for many years to come. So,
Excellent.
all right, we got more. Go ahead, brother.
I'm not seeing anything. That everybody's doing an awesome job in the channels. Here we go. Goopy's got another one. Any alpha on NFTs? Jake dropped a little NFT information last night.
Yeah, totally. So Jake was here giving away all the secret sauce while I was away. No, I love it. So yeah, we definitely have plans with NFTs. I know Jake spilled the beans yesterday, which was awesome. For those of you that heard it, great. For those of you that didn't, we are trying to get NFTs in place that have actual use case. So I've always talked about, maybe an auto compounding feature with Detonator that is solely based on owning an NFT, and then those NFT sales would go to again subsidizing the Detonator pool because we don't want to have a drain on the system where you buy the NFT and now you can auto compound and it drains the contract. We have to have a delicate balance of that. But what Jake talked about yesterday, which I am even more bullish on, um, is having NFTs that actually encapsulate your detonator stake. So I know a lot of people, the if there is any FUD, it usually revolves around locking up your detonator deposit. But if we're able to encapsulate that into an NFT, now there's a whole secondary market on buying and selling detonator stakes. So, and that could be another revenue generating stream for us as well through market fees. I mean, it opens up so many doors. And of course, if that is applied to a detonator, it would also be applied to nodes. So each node would be an actual NFT that can be bought and traded. And you know, uh, nodes are a little less exciting because you can just buy a node off the market. But again, if you wanted to try to sell your node at a discount because you needed the liquid capital, then there could be some great earning opportunities. And all of this would be peer-to-peer. So, we as a centralized agency wouldn't have anything to do with it. I mean, it would be peer-to-peer, and we would just take a processing fee, a market fee, that again would go to bolstering the treasury and buying back EMP and ESHARE off the market. So again, those are all super bullish things that we have in the works.
Well, Goopy was very pleased with your answer. He loves the ideas.
Killer. Yeah, man. No, I'm so glad Jake let it rip yesterday. So yeah, and again, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I have so much shit that we're working on that it would just blow your mind. So again, I just don't want to. Jake, every time I make an announcement, you know, Jake sends me a message like, now I have another 5 years of my life coding in the dungeon to pull it off. So I hate to do that to him, but yeah, if he's willing to release that alpha, that means that he's ready to start implementing that, and it could be here sooner than later.
So I am not seeing any more questions, AJ. So let me check it. Oh, here, LA's got her hand raised. I'm sorry. Go ahead, LA.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, LA, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to pop in and just give a couple updates on a couple things.
Yeah, lay it on us. I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah, after a little bit of chat in the main chat today, I realized there's something that we never really like made an announcement about that might just be like a little bit helpful for some people. If you guys are on the AMAs almost every night, and I know a lot of you are, I'm sure you notice that like certain questions get asked a lot. And AJ's like the most patient person in the world, and he does like such an incredible job at answering them. And there's a lot of new people that come along, and everyone in the main chat's like amazing at helping everyone learn. And that's like one of the best parts of EMP, the education in the community. But we wanted to help new people have like just one extra resource to be able to find things more easily. So now on the YouTube videos, there's timestamps. So you can look at the descriptions, and if there's specific questions that have been asked, it'll say it in the description, and you can just click on that specific time and hear the answer to questions. So there's some specific questions that get asked like quite a lot. And so if we can kind of free up more of AJ's time, he's free to like create these incredible innovative things that he talks about. And we can let him spend more time on that kind of stuff. So this week's will be up probably tomorrow, but the last 2 weeks are already up there. So that could potentially be a way to kind of shorten some of these AMAs for him. So I just wanted to mention that. And then also, we're getting super, super close to being ready to make some announcements about the merch stuff. We're almost ready to give some info about that. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update about that. We're almost done. So that's super exciting as well.
Amazing, LA. Thank you. You have gone above and beyond, not only in transcribing, but the timestamps and the Medium articles. Holy shit! If anybody, again, we'll post that. Make sure that you're subscribing to the Medium articles, right, LA? Are we over 100 yet? Where are we at on that?
I think we're at like 115, something like that.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, we're the first, the fastest to 100 out of all the Tomb Forks, or Tomb projects. So awesome. Well, yeah. And again, thank you for always going above and beyond. Everybody definitely show LA some love. And, her and Couch have been killing it on the merchandise too. So I'm even in the dark on that. I love it. They've ran with it, and we have our planning meetings, but it's been purposely kind of been kept a secret so that we can all enjoy that launch together. So yeah, I'm super excited for the merch for sure, LA. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to give you guys those updates and just let you know that if you have a burning question, the answer is probably already up in YouTube if it's something that we talk about often. And AJ like kills it with the answers, so that's where you'll find them.
Awesome. Thank you, Ella. Yeah, again, I'm happy to I'm happy to answer the same thing over and over again. I mean, again, patience is a virtue, but I get it. I mean, all you guys want to know, um, what's happening and why we do the things we do. Um, again, the Academy is a great resource, and there does come a point where, none of us can hold your hand in the process, but we're happy to give you the tools to succeed. And it's really great for our YouTube channel. Again, all those videos will be living there in perpetuity. So, take a day and go through and learn everything you possibly can. Because by doing that, um, you set yourself up to maximize your earnings in the entire protocol. So, um, yeah, thanks again, LA.
The cool thing is also you have an opportunity to, like, in the academy, you learn a lot from Mike and Stephanie, and then on the YouTube videos, you learn a lot from AJ, Bull, Matthew, like, on a lot of these things. So you can get a lot of those answers on a lot of the mechanics and stuff from there. So yeah.
For sure. And I know everybody has their own, way of learning. So hearing it from somebody else or being a little bit more analytical versus, the larger overview can be helpful. So please take the time to go to our YouTube channel and um, go back through some of the past AMAs. So, yeah, and I'm not going anywhere. We'll still be doing our live AMAs, but it would be nice to streamline things a bit. Again, we have meetings all day, every day. That's the crazy part about crypto is that it's a global product. So, it might be 1, 2, 3 in the morning, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Like it's all over the place. So I have to be available to explore, these partnerships and these other, opportunities. So again, just 2, 3 hour long AMAs are going to get harder and harder as we move forward and grow. Again, we're in a major growth phase. I think that over the next few months, we're going to see things really start to explode, and we need to have the infrastructure in place to support that. And all of you guys have been incredible. Again, 42 on their call right now, another 25 on YouTube. 70 to 100 people showing up here every day, doing their part to help, the protocol grow. So that's the beauty of it. I mean, we just launched the code, and it's up to all of you to help your own bags and have a ownership in the protocol. Outside of what we're doing. So that's really exciting. But all right, Bull, awesome. Do you have any more questions?
No, but I did want to say one thing for all the people that are listening to this later on, and you might feel left out of your ability to speak to a team member. Lunas does a European-friendly AMA 3 days a week in the main channel here, and that's usually around 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. He is a little flexible on the time. Sometimes he starts a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but that is another option for people. And he does talk about a wide range of topics that are crypto related and EMP related. So I would encourage everybody to show Luna some love and remember those AMAs as well.
For sure, absolutely. And again, I mean, we're all working super hard behind the scenes. Um, my famous line from Richard Hart, just that, no expectation of profit from the work of others. Again, that's just to, reiterate that we're not a security. We didn't do, we never had an IDO. All the liquidity has been provided by outside funds. So, but that being said, the team is always killing it behind the scenes. So, we have our meetings every day. We're in touch with each other, both the core team and the army. But we're all in our own lane. So, I'm focusing on growth and development with Jake. Lunas and Marty are amazing. Marty, again, not to dox him, but he's as a new homeowner, so he's been really busy with that. And give him some congratulations, and he'll be a lot more available. Marty is an amazing guy. Him and Lunas, again, our European counterparts, they'll be a lot more available in the next few weeks. Uh, and then Demi, again, he's our social media guy. He's been doing our Twitter and a lot of other stuff behind the scenes. Our Twitter is looking really strong. We're almost at 11,000 followers on Twitter, so go show that some love.
Amazing.
And then Crypto Mike, I mean, he's always busy. And Crypto Mike has an incredible project. Again, that ties into some of the things I teased a little bit earlier. That will open up a lot of opportunity for all of us. I won't say more than that, but Crypto Mike, not only is he an asset with YouTube and the coverage that he gives us, but he is one of the most incredible networkers I've ever met, and he is the master at finding opportunity within crypto and other money making opportunities as well. So shout out to Mike on all that. So yeah, just to give you guys a little bit more background uh, on what's happening behind the scenes. So all right, I think I saw one more question here in regards to that NFT encapsulating states on Detonator. So yeah, I mean, they let me read what they say here. All right, so they're basically saying if you do it that way, then the daily percentage won't cover what you're able to withdraw. So yeah, what I said earlier about Detonator, by making the NFTs an encapsulated stake, the funds are still locked. So don't get afraid that you'll be able to drain the contract. No matter what, the stakes are locked in the Detonator. But the NFTs provide a solution for exactly what you're saying. So, say you have an emergency, you needed access to your funds, or you just wanted to flip your stake for a profit. Um, it gives everybody a lot more flexibility to be able to sell, their detonator stakes without being locked in. But those funds will always be locked in. So, again, say you got in early to detonator, you were really due diligent about compounding more than you're claiming. Well, now that encapsulated stake would be worth a lot more than somebody just trying to get into detonator today. So that's where the real value comes in, and it can create a whole secondary economy around those NFTs alone. So yeah, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit. So was there anything else, Bull, that I missed?
Yep, Jesse had something to say, so he's ready to go.
Hey Jay, my brother.
My man, what's up, the newest Army General? What's up, bro?
Oh man, I
Congrats.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm super thankful to be part of a team, man, with such a great team of developers, man. I mean, you've
100%,
just
bro.
been great.
You
Yeah, you've
earned
just
you
been
earned
great
your
over
spot,
and
bro.
over.
You earned that Army General spot, man. You've been going above and beyond, and you were nominated. You've been nominated a few times, and yesterday we finally got together and made it happen. So yeah, man, lay it on us. What do you got for us
Yeah,
today?
yeah, listen. Like I said, man, I really do appreciate it. And I can't promise to always be right, but I promise to always be real. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna get that out of me. I just wanted to thank you for the to jumping me into the army. I mean, I guess I could spit some real quick some financial advice. I guess anybody that's into the auto compounders and you're trying to decide when you're going to come into the ecosystem and you're interested in running nodes and the farm, try to base that on a 25% percentage. And what I mean by that when I say it is whatever size node you're looking to purchase, auto compound into the value of that value is 25% and will be able to purchase the node. This way, you'll be able to bring 75% into the farm to create the ESHARE that's going to buy the ETH to match that EMP to create your LP, hopefully to diamond hand it into the detonator. And that's my financial advice for the night.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, Jesse, no doubt, bro. Sorry, I was muted again. So yeah, and to piggyback on that too. So James Pelton did a live AMA today, and that was part of the discussion was, don't sell your EMP, especially when we're below peg. And again, we don't tell people what to do and not to do, but the idea is that Jesse said you want to be able to farm your eShares to match up with whatever the nodes are producing. Because that is really the ultimate way to build your positions at the least out of pocket expense possible. So yeah, that's super super important. And again, I think people are finally starting to catch on. And if you're not doing that, please reach out to one of the army members or uh, anybody that can kind of help you understand why the way you made the most money in the protocol is actually the best for the protocol. So yeah, Jesse, 100%.
And as always, if anybody has any questions or get a question from somebody that wants it explained and they don't want to do it, I always take the time to put it out there. And I guess it's probably gonna get old to us veterans or whatever, but we got to just keep reiterating it for all the new people always coming in.
No doubt, bro.
Oh, and as always, anybody creating any kind of content, anything to do with EMP, make sure you go show it love. YouTube creators in the community, article writers, make sure you take the time to, if you're not doing anything at all, make sure you do that. It's really a big deal that we're getting the word out there.
Yes, absolutely. Kirk, Crypto Expat, 99 Ways Crypto. There's a ton of great coverage. Crypto Pride, yeah, absolutely. Can't forget him. SK Crypto. Yep, SK Crypto K. Again, James Felton, Jonathan from the Drip Farm. Again, we have a lot in the works with him coming. Shout out to literally everyone. I apologize if I forgot you. Yeah, and Bull. I know, I can't forget Bull, right? Jesus. Well, you haven't been doing many videos lately, have you? I haven't seen one of yours in a while. I take too much of your time in the AMAs, bro. You gotta get back to
No, man, it's all
channel.
good. I love doing this stuff. So yeah, I just haven't done it. I've gotten a little lazy with it, but check it out if you want to. If you don't, that's cool too. There's a lot of other really great people that are making content and videos. So like Jesse said, show them love. Regardless if it's YouTube, Medium, Twitter, anything like that, because every little bit adds up, and we never know who one person is going to reach out to, and somebody's going to see that, and they might bring $10 million in here, and that's kind of the point, is to bring new people and new eyeballs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Support and love those people.
Or they could bring valuable players in here. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a YouTube video. So that's the reason why I push it so much. You know what I'm saying? Go show that love. You never know how people are going to come in. I mean, obviously, it's good to refer people but most of us are finding the information about EMP through content. You know what I'm saying? Mostly everybody that we're going to get in this space is going to be through content. So the more we could pump them algorithms, the more turnout we're going to have. I mean, it's important, and I'm sure everybody thinks that their little individual click on that like button isn't going to mean anything, but it is. Collectively as a whole, everybody's click counts. When you hit the medium,
you're compounding socials, just what we're doing.
Yes, you're compound. And the medium, don't forget, I just found this out. It's a 50 clap, man. So take the time to tap that 50 times. LA would definitely appreciate it.
No doubt, bro. 100%.
And listen, and with that, AJ, I got mad love for you. Bull, you already know, the whole community. Appreciate all y'all. I'm gonna get off.
All right, Jesse. Shout out, brother. Appreciate you, man. Much love to you as well. And yeah, bro, you're a valuable asset to us. You get me hype. Again, I know our energies are similar, and we can pump each other up. That gets me excited and a great way to cap off the AMA. But yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, literally go on YouTube, type in EMP.Money in the search, and go to the sort by newest, and we've been getting about 4 or 5 videos a day on EMP alone. and some of the coverage is through, people that we even know, or that are emperors that just want to help. So please go through, give them a thumbs up, again, comment, and that's another really bullish or valuable thing to do, is even on a lot of these other streams. I know, the big YouTubers that cover projects, show up in the chat, tell them what's up, EMP. Has been an incredible opportunity for you. How you can earn with exposure to ETH. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can be the call to action, so to speak. But anybody that can help do their part, and that doesn't require any additional investment. It's a way to help your bags for free. So yeah, awesome advice.
It's just investing in your investment the easiest possible way.
Absolutely, Bull, 100%. All right, man. Was that it? Let me see if there's any other. Was there anything else on Discord? I didn't see. I know usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll do a big recap on all the Discord questions. We are trying to figure out how to simulcast over the Discord as well. Those of you that are on Discord, much love to all of you. Thank you for being involved. Charlie, Joe, all you guys have been killing it. Red, over on Discord. I'm such a Discord noob. That I'm not over there as much as I should be. But we're gonna give more love to Discord, and yeah, I mean, I think we're almost at 4,000 users over on Discord, which is crazy. And Telegram is also growing every day. Detonator's growing. I didn't even touch on that. We're getting like 50 to 60 new users a day in Detonator alone. So again, I wanted to end with a bunch of bullish sentiment, and yeah, anything else you want to add, Bull?
No, everybody just keep doing what you're doing. Be positive, help new members, be kind, positive, constructive. That I think it's going a long way to showing people that aren't in this project that this is the place to be and where they want to be long term. And that's a really powerful thing to talk about, is being that we all have each other's back here, and we want this to be, not a 2-week project or 2-month or 2-year. We're looking at 5 years, 10 years, of creating that healthy passive income and making crypto friends here for life.
Absolutely, Bull. I love it, man. And yeah, our peg is looking good. Again, Stinky Beans just posted. We're at 0.97 off peg. We could be back at peg in a matter of hours or days. So again, just remember, don't dump your EMP when we're below peg. Use it to build your LP positions. And if you do have fresh capital, not financial advice, but anytime we're under peg, you're essentially buying ETH at a discounted rate. So that's really, really important. Bonds are available, so you can pick up some bonds. That's another way to help support the ecosystem. And we'll get back to peg eventually. Just don't get too caught up on peg either, because again, you're still able to earn in the farms, and Detonator is our shining light. So, all right, I think that'll wrap it up. We're gonna do it all over again tomorrow. And again, if I didn't go over any of your pressing questions, feel free to reach out. If you're not able to join the AMA, I'm happy to answer those questions. Just send me a DM. So, all right, everyone. Thanks again. Stay safe out there. Again, it's okay to unplug and not watch the chart every 5 minutes. Let the dust settle and prepare for, later this summer, and hopefully a bull run towards the end of the year. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you tomorrow.